Welcome to New Jersey. Our state is home of some of America's greatest family resorts. We have some of the best beaches in the country. We've got some of the nicest boardwalks. We've got an entertaining nightlife. We even have some of the most beautiful sunsets. But you know what else we have? We also have a really big heroin problem.
Maybe not heroin addicts, but we're all addicts. And it doesn't matter what your drug of choice is. We all have mental health. I guess it doesn't matter what drug you're putting in your body. If you are using shopping to escape feelings, if you're using junk food to escape feelings, if you're using girlfriends or boyfriends to escape feelings, I mean, there's so many aspects of addiction that are very much taking a toll on our society right now.
The reason behind that was because at the time I was messing around with pills, and someone had convinced me that doing heroin was cheaper and you would get higher. And eventually, after so many times of hearing that, I eventually gave in to peer pressure, really, and started trying heroin. And then like the first time I tried it, I was actually scared. Not necessarily scared like I was going to die, but just afraid that I was going to be addicted to it, since I was already addicted to pills. And I knew that heroin was a totally different beast.
And before the miscarriage, I had Xanax and Klonopin, and was drinking and smoking weed a lot. And when I had the miscarriage, I just wasn't doing the job of covering that up, covering up the pain and the things I was going through.
I hadn't done heroin yet, and I had only done painkillers. And while I was in treatment, you talk to people who do different things, and I found out that heroin was cheaper. It was I guess I don't want to say easier to manage, but it was easier to get than painkillers.
It was this thick, warm blanket of just where I could do nothing. I had felt almost disheartened that it was over, so I was anxious to do it again.
They're comparable to, I would say, losing a loved one or having a breakup, or it's this deep devastational loss that you don't know how you can live without. And I relate it to a really bad breakup, or a losing of a loved one, where you can pay $50 to spend another couple hours with that person. Who wouldn't do that? It's a very hard thing to just stop.
Thinking this is great. I feel great. I don't feel anything. That's what was so great about it.
My darkest memories are stealing from my parents.
The one that stands out the most is that I had a really bad car accident 3 months after I started using heroin, where I was riding passenger in my Jeep Wrangler and wasn't wearing my seatbelt, and my boyfriend nodded out the wheel. I flew 30 feet through the roof of my Jeep Wrangler and broke 20 different bones, had a severe traumatic brain injury. I was in a coma for 3 weeks and in the hospital recovering for almost 4 months. I had the accident and I was conscious and talking and stuff. I was still with the same guy, and he would bring me drugs in the hospital so that I could do it there. I think it was about a month after getting released, I overdosed.
My memory was not that great. Half the time I wasn't even conscious. But I remember going to a drug dealer, and I remember, going to get drugs off of him, and you know, I was short on money, about 150 bucks, and I didn't tell him that, and I gave him a bunch of money, got what I asked for, and then, you know, just got in the car and left, and he was calling me and freaking out, you know, because I was 150 bucks short, and, you know, like, I had totally forgotten about this moment, and I called that drug dealer a couple days later, and asked to meet up again, and mind you, like, I had forgotten that I just, you know, shorted him 150 bucks and went back with a couple more bucks, and he opened the door with a gun to my chest, and he said, "You beat me last time, we're going to take care of this," and he had the gun to my chest, and it was a revolver, and I remember looking at him, looking at into his eyes, and I remember looking at the gun, and it was in that point of my addiction where, like, I just didn't care what was going to happen, and if you were going to kill me, you were probably going to put me out of my misery. And I remember saying, "Go ahead," you know, and he clicked it. He clicked the gun 8 times, and nothing happened. It was not loaded, and he just laughed about it, and then he gave me my drugs, and I went on my way.
Hands and knees like a commando through somebody's bedroom while they were sleeping at night to be able to steal their wallet, you know. I was also a crafty criminal. I could go into banks with no ID and your social security number, and I can clear out your account, you know. And I did this to a lot of people. I held people hostage, like my parents or my girlfriends. You know, I mean, some of the darkest memories I have is not the crap that I took from people and the stuff that I did to people. I mean, it's more like what the end days were like of using. You know, when you're sitting there shooting like 40 to 60 bags a day, you know, you're putting 10 bags in the spoon at once, like any one of those shots could kill you, you know. When you're doing it for as long as I was, you know, I don't know, I mean, it was just a disgusting and vile existence, you know. I mean, I would wake up, I would do what I needed to do to get the money for the drugs that I needed to get, and then I would come home, and then, you know, it might take me a half an hour just to find a vein, you know, at that point. I'm shaking, you know, and I've got like blood all over my arm and the couch and, you know, everywhere. I mean, you know, if you're in it, you know what I'm talking about. There's spots in the ceiling and, you know, and burnt holes in every bed sheet and comforter and carpet that you own, and, you know, I mean, that was probably the darkest times, you know.
It was pretty dark. I mean, the stealing, the lying, losing friends, and different relationships. And I think most of all, like, it was my sanity. Like, I really lost my sanity. Like, last summer, before I got clean, I wanted to, like, just kill myself every single day.
Necessary, I think, and it definitely has its place. You know, I mean, like I said before, a guy like me, I won't detox unless I go to jail. You know, unless you physically separate me from the heroin, I'm not going to stop. You know, so I will go so far as to drain your entire bank account, you know, hold you hostage. I mean, if you were a little old lady, I'd cut the gold chains off your neck, you know. I mean, none of that matters, you know. You can't make me stop.
And education. I think desperation got me to the circumstances that I needed to be in, and then the major thing that I attribute to getting clean was the education, knowing how your brain is supposed to react through detox, you know, knowing that the feelings that I was feeling were normal, knowing that I wasn't actually broken, I was just poisoned, you know what I mean? And, you know, knowing that you're not broken, or I should say thinking that you're broken, is a very hopeless thing to be. And that's what I think led me to relapse so many times, was thinking that, like, well, if I'm broken, then I need this medication, or if I'm broken, then I need these, you know, chemicals.
I have a sponsor. I go to church. Really, I just try to stay connected with the people who want to support me and give me advice or guidance if I need it, but are just there to, like, listen to me if I need help. But my family has been really, you know, major. They've been very supportive and helpful around this whole thing.
You know, and like, if you have anyone that you think would be would have ears that would want to listen to you and listen to your struggle and listen to your pain, whether it be a family member or a friend on the internet that you've never even met, anyone that you think that would listen to what's going on, that would be willing to help, do that. Because like for me, like my pride and ego was what kept me away from the help that was like out there. Like I didn't want to ask for help.
It doesn't matter how far down you've gone, you can still recover from that. You can still, if I'm still alive, if I'm still walking, there's still a chance.
My name is Alyssa Petrella, and I am just one of the many New Jersey residents affected by our heroin epidemic. Earlier this year, my brother passed away from a heroin overdose, and ever since his death, I've really wanted to bring awareness to what's going on in our community. We really don't know how to address it, how to work with it, or how to stop it. And it seems like everyone just judges each other for the ways we cope with our mental health issues. Heroin addicts are not scum of the earth. They're people we love. It's the girl you grew up riding your middle school bus with. It's the guy you worked with one summer who made the best pizza. It's the guy you got your first beach feed tagging job with when you were 14. Or it's your ex-boyfriend's roommate. Or like I said, it's your baby brother. We all have mental health issues, and some of us just get sucked into coping with them in a different way.